New York is starting the new year with a new mayor. Bill de Blasio, sworn in just after midnight on Wednesday, is the first Democrat to run the city in nearly a quarter of a century. As he took the oath of office, he promised to tackle rising inequality, which he says is crippling the city. In London, too, some say inequality is stifling the place. They complain that rich foreigners are fueling high property prices and driving out lower and middle-income families. London's Mayor Boris Johnson doesn't agree with that. He argues that it's the city's wealth and prosperity that keeps drawing people to it. So who's right? Paul Moss has been finding out whether London is in danger of killing the creativity that has made it so dynamic.
It is one of the world's more remarkable skylines, stunning in its sharp contrasts. Standing here in the London borough of Southwark, I can see just across the Thames the gleaming office blocks of the City, London's financial district. This is the heart of an industry that says it generates about £200 billion a year and brings in workers and indeed investments from all around the world. And then there's Southwark itself, which has some of the most deprived council wards in the country and where nearly half of families live in social housing. But now some of that social housing is undergoing a radical change. The Heygate estate was one of London's biggest collections of council homes, a sprawling mass of concrete blocks. It embodies the architectural ethos of post-war social housing. But now the Heygate's been converted into brand new private flats, a move up market, according to the local councillor in charge of the project, Fiona Colley.
What we're trying to do here is replace the grey 60s concrete homes with a really vibrant new part of central London. We're in zone 1 here of central London, yet what we've got are thousands of concrete homes, not in a good way, and we want to create a new area.
The trouble is that some residents quite like the old area. In a nearby cafe I talked to Terry Redpath. He had to leave his home on the Heygate estate when it was the subject of a compulsory purchase order. Most of the council tenants were offered new social housing nearby, and the council is building new social housing. But Terry owned his home and insists that the compensation he got wasn't enough to buy him a new one. Terry says he's just one of the many local people who can no longer afford to live in this area, the area where they grew up.
The replacement properties in this area start in the region of about 350 to 400,000 for a one-bedroom flat, which is totally out of our price range. We actually got married in the area. There's over 100 years of family history relating to this area. That has now been lost.
Some people will say, look, the Heygate estate and the other council estates like it, they weren't very nice. The housing was not that great, and at least the area is going to be improved by the new housing that's being built there.
The quality of the housing was actually quite superb. There were spacious rooms, the luxury of hot water, central heating. We had all sorts of social activities. It's something that I don't think we'd ever recapture.
It's not only domestic residents who say they've been driven out of London. Among these economic refugees from the capital, there are also many businesses, including one of Britain's leading animation companies. The cartoons may not be everyone's cup of